All right, so in this one, we are going to create a method for our comment child serializer. That is all of the comments that are related to the parent comment. So we have our parent comment, and then we want to have our child comments. So that is what we're going to be doing here. And to do this, we are going to create a couple new comment serializers. One is for the detail view, and one is for the child comment. So comment child serializer is what we're going to be calling it, and then the other one is comment detail serializer. So for the comment child serializer, we are just going to leave it as this, with the exception I definitely don't want the parent in there because I don't need it anymore. And then really all I need is the ID and possibly when it was updated. So I'm going to use ID, content, and updated. And of course it's going off of the updated field, which if we take a look at our model, we have a timestamp field. So we're actually going to just use the timestamp instead of updated. Go back in there, so timestamp. Okay, so now that we've got this child comment serializer in our comment detail serializer, we can actually create something in here called child or children, or realistically replies, because that's what it is. And we're going to do serializer method field here, and we're going to put replies down here. In this one, we don't need parent because the comment detail is going to ensure that we are working off of the actual comments that are the parents. They're not actually have children. So, and then here we're going to do define get replies, excuse me, and it's going to say self and object, and we'll say if object.isParent. Then we're going to return the comment child serializer. And this is basically saying, hey, let's use this serializer, and we're going to do object.children, and we'll say many equals to true, and then .data, otherwise we'll return none. Okay, so we want to make sure that this children, this call right here is actually in our model. So in our comment models, we see that children is this right here. So what we're seeing is it's going to return a query set. So in our serializer, we're taking that query set data, we're making sure that it says many, and then we're serializing it, and that's what we're returning. So that's what those replies will be. So let's go ahead and use this comment detail serializer inside of our view for comment detail and comment detail serializer. The query set is definitely going to be that parent is not empty. So if we look in our all call, we already see that filtering it, it already filters out ones that have a parent, right? So if parent equals to none, those are all. So that all call is already doing that for us. So in our view for the detail view will only work for the parent comments at this point. Okay, so now that we've got this, let's go ahead and check it out in our comments. Let's make sure the server is running. And we've got comment detailed serializer is not defined, which should make sense because we didn't actually import it. So let's go ahead and import it. And now we've got that. We refresh in here, we've got comments, and I'm just going to go to ID of 1. Click on 1, and ooh, we get a little error. So keyword argument, this is something that hopefully if you did experience it, you were able to solve it very easily. Of course, in the URLs, we need to change ID to PK, or inside of our view, we need to change our lookup field to ID. It's either one, but of course by default the lookup field is primary key. We refresh that, and now what we see here is that original comment and then the replies. Perfect, that's exactly what we want. This timestamp stuff we probably want it on the comment detail itself too. So I'm going to go ahead and add that into the comment detail serializer. We refresh in here, and now that's what we see. We see our replies, we see our timestamp, we see everything that's related to the comment detail itself. This is pretty good. As far as the comment list is concerned, if we go back into comments, notice it's not showing the replies. So what we could do is in there, the comment itself. So let's actually see the view that's doing that list. And we have the comment serializer. So in here, what we could do is we could just get the count. So we'll say replies or reply count. Or I'll just say replies equals to, again, a serializer method field. And then we'll say define get replies. Actually, let's call it reply count, just to leave it as being a little bit more consistent as to what it should be and not leaving out the confusion. and also being very verbose. Reply count is a lot more verbose than just reply. And if you said replies, it would sound like, oh, the actual replies themselves. So we're going to do self and object, and we're going to say if object.isParent, and it should be, but if we're just putting in that clause just in case, we're going to return object.children.count. Otherwise, we'll just return 0. We could say none, but I'm just going to say 0 because if there are 0, then 0. Okay, so now that we've got this, let's go ahead and add this into our stuff. And again, you might want the timestamp in here. That's just kind of up to you. We refresh and we see the reply count. Again, those replies aren't showing up, but it is definitely there. Since we do have a reply count on the list, we might as well add that reply count in the detail as well, just to have another level of interaction for our API. It's just one of those things that isn't required, but it is something that will make making our clients or the front end things a little bit easier to do. All right, so that's replies using the comment detail serializer and also just using a query set that is related directly to a model. So this in particular you can use with other kinds of query sets, right? So it doesn't have to be this like an actual instance method. It could be a query set that you use otherwise that might be related to that particular model. So going back in here, the object.children, this could be any sort of query set, right? So it could be comment.objects.all. It could be that. It could be that simple, or you could be using a completely different model here that may be somewhat related, and that's how you would be able to show it. All right, so if you have any questions on this, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.